Hi, this is Peter Stanley. I'm going to make a new low pressure aeroponic system. I made one last year and it worked really well, but there's some improvements I can make. One, I think I overcomplicated it. And also I didn't have much of a reservoir, so I was running out of nutrients. I didn't have an easy way to change the nutrients, and everything I did would kind of disturb the roots. So I'm going to switch to a 2 bucket system. So the plant will go in the lid, and I'll drill a center hole. Basically, the main bucket's going to have holes drilled around it, and then the bottom there'll be a center hole in the very bottom that the submersible pump will attach through, and the spray manifold will connect to that from the inside, and then this will seat down inside the outer bucket, which will have the nutrient solution that'll come up through the holes, and so it'll everything will be self-contained in the top bucket, so I won't have to mess with the roots. And if I want to change the nutrients, I just lift it out, put it in another bucket that has fresh nutrients. So I've cut the parts that I need, and I'll put these in the description. Um, this is a 396 gallon per hour submersible pump, and probably overkill for this, maybe, but they're relatively cheap. I think this one's like $20, but I found another brand that looks identical. I think it was Apollo Horticulture for like $10. I'll put links in the description. We're using 1/2 inch PVC, and this is a 1/2 inch threaded adapter that screws in, and it fits a 1/2 inch pipe on the other side. And I don't remember what it's called exactly, but I'll put that in the description as well. I've got a tiny piece of 1/2 inch wedged in here. I can't get it out. So basically 2 1/2 inch couplers, 2 caps, 2 3-inch pieces, 3 7/8 of an inch, and 1 1-inch piece, T adapter, and 2 they're not elbows, but they're kind of like, I don't know if it's 45-degree, but it's like a little less than looks like either a 30 or 45-degree. So kind of dry fit these together. I'm going to cement the part that attaches in here so they won't come loose. For the rest, they'll just be dry fitted. And also, for drilling the holes in the bucket, I'm using 11/16 and a 1/4 inch. And in the previous design, I used a tap to thread these in with, and I found that I saw this on a site selling these 11/64 inch drill bit. It's a drill that, and then these would just kind of wedge in there, and they're not going to come out. So that's another step that simplifies. And I'll show you what, I can't think of that. Brad point, that's the type of drill bit. I've got a set of these, but you could buy just one if you need it. But so it's a 11/64 inch brad point bit, and I'm going to show how to do that, but I'm going to go ahead and drill all of these and come back. That way it saves some time showing you this. And let me go ahead and dry fit it together. So this will be coupler coming from the bottom, the 1-inch piece. These are the parts that are going to cement together. This is going to go through the hole of the bucket from the bottom. This will go on the other side, wedge down, and the spray manifold will build on top of that. So we'll put one little piece there, T adapter, piece there, and the 3-inch pieces will go on the ends. And the caps. So this will be inside the bucket. I need to push these a little tighter, actually fit. It does fit once fit together, right? But so I'm going to drill a hole here, here, and here. I don't know. I'll decide when I'm drilling. I think I'm going to put 3, maybe 4 that'll be pointing up, and I might put some on the corners pointing down for when the roots grow down. But the more nozzles you put, the less pressure you have. That's the only concern. But with this pump, it should be okay. So these will be pointing out like that, here and here, maybe in the center, there, and possibly some in the corners. So anyway, I'll drill these and come back to that. And what I'm going to do now is go ahead and drill holes in my bucket. So I want to do a hole in the very bottom for my pump. And I don't have the exact bit. To make a perfect hole for the 1/2 inch PVC, I need a bit a little bit larger, but I'm just going to use what I've got, and I'll take a knife and open it up. So basically I need one big enough, just big enough for that to fit through. So it's going to there we go. So, nice tight fit. So this one, screw on the bottom of that. Actually, it would be this piece. And this go on the bottom of that. And it'll be like that. And then this would connect in there, but I need to fit those tighter to actually make that work. But yeah, so that should work. So I got that. Now I'm going to go ahead and also need to figure out how far to drill my holes. So I'm going to have to have this going through the center bucket as well somehow. I don't know, I need to figure that out. But let's see. So that's going to go that far down. So I don't want to drill any holes in the inside bucket past here. Okay. Get that out of the way. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and drill some holes. I'm going to start with drilling a bunch of big holes, and then I'll go in and do a few smaller holes. Okay, so now I'm going to drill some smaller holes. Okay. Okay, that's probably enough. So you can see how that looks. I'll take my razor and trim out all these little pieces too. And I'm also going to cut a hole for the pump cord to come back through, so all of it can stay together. And I probably could just drill a few more holes to the side and make a big enough, and kind of cut them out to make it big enough for the cord to go through. So let's go to the footprint there. So probably need to be on the edge. Yep, so that fits in there. So that'll be coming back up out of the top. That way everything can stay contained within this internal bucket. Also, I'm going to use a 3-inch net pot in the lid. So we'll go ahead and drill a 3-inch hole. And I'm also going to put a couple 1/4-inch holes around so I can zip tie the basket in there really well. So basically what I did, just kind of roughly marked so I know where to drill a few 1/4-inch holes. They'll be outside of this hole. So I'll go ahead and drill this hole. Now these, I like to start it slowly in the forward position and then switch it to reverse. And this really soft plastic, it'll cut through it okay. A lot of times, it seems like it does a cleaner cut for plastic. I know it's not proper and all, but that's how I do it. It seems to work. I learned that watching, I believe it was Kangstar. Okay, so now I'm going to switch it in reverse. So 3-inch net pot will fit in there, and then I'll zip tie it really tight so the plant won't fall out. I guess one thing I can do, glue my piece in here. Glue it into one of these, put it in here, and then, okay. So basically, wedge these together, but through here. So if one of these, I can go ahead and glue it in. I hope this stuff's still good, but you can get this as a, when you buy these, it always comes together, but it's, one's the primer and the other's the cement. See, put the primer, and this stuff may not even be good. It's been so long since I've used it. I probably need to wear gloves too. Okay. So you put the primer on like that. Definitely gotta wash my hands. So these are the coated parts where the cement's going to go. This is going to wedge into. There we go. Yeah, this stuff's still good. That in there. So, spoon this one and then wedge that in like that. Probably using way too much of this stuff too. I'm not really I don't really ever use this stuff. Okay. Should hold. So now I've got a point to put the pump to, and then this side will have the spray manifold. So, like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is clean up my mess, wash my hands, clean all this stuff, and install my spray nozzles. And I'll show how I do these, and get the everything ready to go. We'll wrap this up. So you can see just gonna force that in there. It will not come out very easily. There we go. It's really in there good. Okay, so I got this cleaned up, and here's the pump. And I need to put some moisture on these, but I noticed it was a little rocky, so I put the suction cups back on, and this is just a coffee lid to kind of stabilize it. Yeah, I think it'll stay on there. I just don't have need to wet it or something. But anyway, so that's how this looks, and so I'd only go with 3 sprayers. I don't have any underneath, so just 3 total. So that should work fine. Here's the 3-inch net pot and the hole for the power cord. So this will actually be on here, and the power cord will be coming through that. So anyway, that's that, and I'm not going to put the lid on it just yet. I want to do a spray test. I want to fill some water, just see how that looks, and let me show you that. Okay. This hydrogen or clay pebbles, it's good to pre-wash this, which is already been washed. Right. It's ready to put under the light now. Plug up. All right, so got this all set up. Only thing a little bit worried about is with the extra height of the bucket, I don't have quite as much headroom. Got this up as high as I can, but I'm just going to have to figure that out. Got a little fan going, timer for the lights, and I've also got a minute timer that should run on 5 minutes and off 5 minutes and just cycle back and forth. And the fan is also plugged into that, so that'll coincide with the pump. I've run this kind of pump non-stop, never had any problems with it, but I just want to see how it does. So far it seems to be doing okay. So it's been about 2.5 months since I started this, and that's how much it's grown. Leaves starting to curl a little bit. It was up a lot closer to my light, so I moved it down here a little bit. I think it was getting too much heat, but yeah, it's got a nice canopy on it. It's got some flowers. I don't think there are any pods just yet. I moved it out of the grow tent. It seemed like it wasn't growing quite as fast. I think it would have actually been a lot bigger if I'd put it under this light to begin with. Here it's running now. I'm gonna probably plug this up on the porch in a day or two and just let it run outside and see how it does. I think it'll fruit really well if I do that. But anyway, let me unplug this and I'll pull it up and take a look at the roots and everything. It's already grown down here. I don't want to pull this out too much. The roots are get a shot here. Oops. Kind of wrapped around the spray bar down there. Okay, so I think the system is working really well. One thing I did notice when I was messing around, the plant leaf, there's not any support there, and that's not a flaw of the design as far as it growing, but I need to incorporate supports into this somehow. So I've got to work on that. I might tape some PVC going up around the bucket. I don't know. I'll figure something out, but it needs that before it grows anymore, or it's gonna fall over. But I'll address that. But anyway, thank you for following this project, and I post updates, grow updates. I've shown it off and on, but this is first time I actually put the whole video up. So I will keep posting updates throughout the season and how it does. I think it's going to take off a lot more when it goes outside. But yeah, anyway, hope you like that. And thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.